Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody, episode 337 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's maybe a human, maybe not, with me tonight?
I am Joe Butler, and I am the android sent by CyberLife.
I'm Mike, and I'm the resident internet David Cage apologist.
I'm Adam, and yeah, I'm AI. I'm just not very good. I'm a very early form of it.
Hey, I can get behind some AI. Some AI said that Elon Musk was an idiot, so hey, I'm okay with that. His own AI said he was wrong, he was lying or something. Like, this is probably not factual. I love when people do that.
This is a gimmick episode where in the background, if you play for the Patreon, Grok is playing the game and we're seeing what choices he picked. And so far,
That'd be cool.
he's really racist.
We're not doing that, but that would be cool. We're here to talk about Detroit Become Human, developed by Quantic Dream, published by Sony, and came out in 2018 originally.
This game is not aged well.
I disagree.
No, actually, you're right. This game is aged perfectly.
In
I mean,
what
this
aspect?
game was so fucking topical for today's, covering this in June 15, 2025. I mean,
What year was this?
2018 this came out.
When you say it hasn't aged well, you mean like the plot or the graphics or?
So usually Mike does his spiel about our memories with the game. Mike, you want to start that off?
Sure. I thought I owned this game, never played it, didn't own it, and had to pay $30 for it last week and was very upset. There's my history. I was upset. I don't like paying $30 for a game, especially an old one.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're still charging that for this.
They're charging $40. I had CD keys or one of the other things, and I had Fanatical, and I found a deal. So yeah,
I think I got it when it was free on PlayStation Network 1 month. I was like, I've heard of it. I'll try it. I'm from Michigan. Why not?
So yeah, that's my history. Joe, what about you?
I remember this game very profusely. I wouldn't say a fan, but I know a majority of David Cage's game is as Kendrick Lamar says, you have to know the player to hate him profusely. So I've played pretty much every David Cage game. Plus, these games usually are a really big hit. Telltale kind of has a and B route. David Cage somehow has managed to get his way into making several games. Detroit Become Human is on par with Until Dawn, which Mike has also played, so I'm excited that he did this as well.
And on the show.
But this is also a really bad trip because I also wish he had played fucking Nier Automata, because this is what happens when you write a bad Nier Automata story. Holy shit, robot.
I don't think this story is bad.
I will explain why as we go on through the game.
Okay.
And I'll continue.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, we'll get to it more, but I really like this game. So
yeah,
I'll just say that.
It's okay. I'll ruin that. Don't worry.
That's
Looking forward to that.
And Michael.
I got this game at launch because for some reason I keep giving David Cage my money.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings on this one. So many mixed feelings.
Was this your first time playing it?
For Detroit, I played this one when it came out. I played all of his others except for Fahrenheit or Indigo Prophecy. I forget what it was called stateside. Different name over in the UK for some reason.
I think we call it Indigo Prophecy. I think.
I've heard of that one.
And Fahrenheit is Indigo Prophecy for us, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget which one it was stateside, but that's the only one of his main games I haven't actually played.
Okay, it's worse.
Okay, and Adam.
So I got this 2019, I think, maybe a year after it released. I had heard of it. A lot of people on Facebook were talking about it. I found out that Clancy Brown was in it, so at that point I'm like, well, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. It was fun the first go through. It was one of those where it was, if I'm playing one of these build your own story games and I start to consider, well, what would have happened if I would have done this, and I start looking that up throughout the game, then I know I'm hooked, at least for one playthrough of it. And I kind of, as far as David Cage games go, he tends to have his own IPs with their own. Like, you have more freedom, whereas like a Walking Dead, it's based on an established IP with an established set of rules. They don't give you as much freedom to go through it. I don't know. This one I think was pretty good.
Okay. I mean, I was surprised how much fun I had with this game. Like, I ended up getting really into the story. I also got this to run on Steam Deck pretty well, considering it wasn't even installed to the Steam Deck itself. It was installed to a micro SD card. I have no space because I was cheap and stupid. Bought the cheapest one, and I regret it eventually.
Does it have the green check mark on Steam Deck yet?
No, I don't think so. I think it was questionable, but even questionable still runs. Like Assassin's Creed Unity is another one that it works. So, no, I don't think this is verified. No, never mind. I lied. It is verified. Detroit
It
Become
is.
Human is verified.
Because I had started it on Steam Deck, and I noticed it was pretty laggy in some spots, especially the first chapter with the hostage.
Yeah.
I noticed it was lagging, so I just moved it over to my desktop.
There was some of that, but I can handle a lot of bullshit and still play a game. I have literally played PS2 emulator games at 80% speed because it just wouldn't go up to 100 and still beat the game, like Ratchet and Clank. So I do stupid things to finish a game and make it work.
Yeah, so basically every Elder Scrolls game. You'll just go through all that to deal with the bugs, but as long as you just finish the damn thing.
I have a rule. Once I start a game, I usually go to the end one way or the other. That's my craziness. But no, I mean, I thought, so this game, for those that don't know, made by, kind of say Quantum Dream, they're the guys that made Heavy Rain, and then made Beyond Two Souls, made this 5 years later, and then have done nothing since 2018.
No, wrong, sir. They're working on the Star Wars game.
Yeah, so when's the last time we saw a trailer for that game, sir?
No, so I think the last time we brought this up, I did Google it, and I Googled it recently. It does say that they have confirmed recently that they're still working on it.
Oh, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Me too.
What year was that? 21 they announced it?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it vaporware just yet.
I just don't. Stuff that uses the Star Wars license doesn't always end well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. But, I mean, I did not realize they haven't released a game since 2018. Like, my God, does it take a long time to make games now?
I didn't realize it either. I just had to look that up.
Yeah, I thought this game was newer than 2018, because I remember the only reason why this is even happening was different points in my life, I go through my weird YouTube phases and I watch a bunch of YouTube videos and I wrote down like there was something like 100 influential games list or one of those crazy things. And I wrote down a ton of games like, okay, these are things I want to get to at some point. This has been sitting on a list staring at me. And then when I made the season earlier this year, I was like, maybe it's time to finally play this. So that's how we got here. I do like it. I like Heavy Rain. I did like Heavy Rain when we played it for the show both times. I did like Beyond Two Souls when we played it when I played it before the show. So I'm okay with his games. Like there's a certain style to them, and I'm okay with it.
I will always say that he's a fucking hack writer, and the only reason why any of his games are good are because of the actors. Because holy shit, does fucking Beyond Two Souls not hold up worth a goddamn? And the only reason why that game is good is because of Elliot Page and fucking William Dafoe just hamming it up that whole fucking goddamn game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember it well enough, but
I've never played Beyond Two Souls, but I will concede that if Detroit Become Human didn't have such a stellar cast, it would not have been nearly as good to me.
And look who you got. You got Valerie Curry. She's fucking in like Buffy stuff, Clancy Brown, Brian DeChart made a name for himself, local current hottie Neil Newborn's Kamsky. They actually got a hot guy to play a nerdy guy.
You mean Jared Leto?
Yeah.
That's what I saw, unfortunately.
Well, even Lance Henriksen for such a small role that he had.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Lance Henderson in this? Or where was he?
He was Carl, the artist in the wheelchair.
Yes. Okay.
Lance Henriksen.
Henriksen.
I was thinking of the black guy that died. That name is close to that, I think.
Yeah.
Who played Wesker in Resident Evil? Because that's the first thing that popped in my head just now.
But you also have who plays you have Jesse Williams. That's hunky guy from Grey's Anatomy.
His name is Jackson in the show.
My God, did they pick two really fuckable guys for this game? Holy shit.
20.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Every guy is just absolutely fucking attractive in this game.
But that's what I mean. It makes sense because the whole plot of this is that you are androids that are being solved. I mean, it makes sense. If we were going to start making androids, we would make them sexy as fuck. So,
and it does beg the question: who in this game is banging their android?
Everybody.
I mean, like who? I think the shorter list is who isn't.
Oh, it depends on how much you're willing to pay. So one thing I do like about this game is there's numerous different fucking like articles you can read. Some of them really funny, interesting, and provide great backworld lore. You have to pay more for your robot to have genitals. Working. Genitals.
There's a whole android cat house.
Yeah,
yes,
and for 30 minutes with inflation, it's cheaper than lunch. How fucking crazy is that?
Well, considering that it's like you just bought, for the employer, you just bought a machine and then have the machine make you money and you just have to cover maintenance for it. Yeah, it can be cheaper for lunch.
So
I mean, like with food, you have to use resources to get the food, the cost of the food, so therefore you make less money after you sell the food, and you have to pay for employees. In this case, you're just paying for a machine that you already paid for, so Yeah.
So one thing, which I do apologize, I'm gonna have to go through this. There's several fucking annoying plot holes, plot instances, plot armor, stuff in this game that I absolutely fucking hate, including the main story, which Mike just mentioned, because it's robot slavery, which is weird because that means robot racism exists. But the idea of robot racism seems really weird. I say because you watch this and it's like, well, robots, you can't be racist towards robots, which I always thought was weird because you don't lean towards humanity with robots. You lean more towards having like humanity, but also more of a soul. So it's not so much as robots being enslaved. It's more of robots really questioning more if they're supposed to be human. But then after like the last 5 years we've had, I can now see it brought more to light because holy shit, this year has been awful. We're only 6 months in.
With the AI controversies and everything, and the way people react to it. And
No, because back in like 2018, I wouldn't believe people would beat up robots. In 2025, I 100% people would beat up robots. Holy shit, we've gotten stupid.
Well, you also got to look at it as this is, when this game would have been in production, would have been 2016, 2017. You had the beginning of bullshit, a lot of bullshit in America, and the beginning of fascism starting to kind of come about. Where now that we're looking at this like in 2025, and you have a lot of fascism all over again, it's just through any time throughout history you have people wanting to hate on another group of people. You always have it that they're inferior. Like, even though they're robots, if androids are real and we had them, I would still be polite. I would still be nice. I wouldn't beat up my android.
That's because you'd want to fuck it.
I mean, if I bought one that had it, I would be. If I'm a single man, sure. Or my wife's okay with it, sure. But I would.
The idea is that it's a peepo. Like, you can ask it questions. It's not like my goddamn Roomba. But even then, I feel bad for my Roomba if I trip over it.
Like,
oh no, I kick the shit out of my Roomba. It pisses me off all the time.
But it's just like, it shows you how people are, and that like these people that are hating on these machines, like early in one of the first chapters when you're playing as Marcus Jackson from Grey's Anatomy, and like you're going to go get supplies and you end up running. People are like, "Get rid of androids! They took our jobs!" And I'm like, it's not the androids' fault. It's called the corporations that are cheap as fuck. Like, you don't blame them. Don't blame, like, it's not the creation's fault.
It's literally like going home and beating up your computer because you're mad that it can like do calculations better than you.
Looks like a person and can talk to you. Like, I'm even won't even want to hurt my electron. Well, I don't want to replace them either. But like, I don't want, like, if something had a face, I wouldn't want to hurt it. I don't want to hurt animals. I don't want to hurt bugs. Really, well, if you're in my house, you're gonna die if you're a buggy. But other than that, like, you live outside, you're fine. But like, how would you want to hurt like something that looks human? Like, why do people have this desire to hurt it? I don't get it.
People are assholes, Mike. That's the whole point.
I think it really comes down to that.
Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, the Joker was right. We live in a fucking society.
So I'm sitting here looking. You remember in the main menu when the lady would ask you questions and it would give you percentage answers, what everybody answered. I'm sitting here reading some of these questions, and the very first one is, would you consider having a relationship with an android that looks like a human? 65% yes.
Yeah.
More said, I don't know. 18% said don't know, and 17% straight said no.
No, the weirder thing is that like a little bit further in, there's a question of if you believe in God. There's like 60% people answered like yes. And I'm like, how many religious people buy PlayStations? That's actually kind of weird.
I forgot some of these questions. Some of them are actually pretty interesting, but they lean very heavily towards the whatever answer was the number one answer.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of room, And then what technology do you most anticipate? Androids?
Nah, I'm excited for flying cars.
I think I said brain-connected devices.
Honestly, I'd rather have, like, they have them in here. I just want automatic cars. I don't even care if they're fucking, like, flying. Just make it to where I no longer require a license, or I can sleep on the car ride to fucking...
That would be wonderful.
To be out of town.
We're trying to make, driverless cars, but unfortunately the guy making it is an idiot, so...
Even if they did, if they came out with that, some new miraculous technology that said, okay, you don't have to touch this vehicle, it'll take you exactly where you need to go, I'd be scared shitless to trust it.
So,
and if everybody had it, I'd be fine.
So, it's funny that we talk about the realism of this. I was actually waiting for Matt to get back because I was going to bring up the story. So this game talks about sex robots, right?
Oh, it does.
Oh, yeah. Does all but show it.
So Mike knows I'm from Houston, and this game came out before this big incident. In Houston, they were going to make a place where you can rent out those real sex dolls. And the whole point was to get people to rent them out, to try them out, and to buy them. but they're like, if people come in and rent, we don't really give a shit. And we're willing to rent rooms and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's a really weird progressive idea, but I believe it'll go. I kept checking up on it because they were being protested by the religious people in the area. And so obviously, if you know, all of them are always custom made. And so basically a lot of like the religious people were like, well, what happens if someone wants you to make like a child? And they're like, well, we don't do that. Our custom orders specifically said if you try to fucking ask for like a child one, we will block you and report you to the police. And they're like, but what if though? And they're like, well, we don't do that. So after months and months of bitching and everything, they went to some old law that basically said, oh, you can't have a sex shop within like 100 feet of a church. And they found a church exactly 99 miles away. So it didn't get built.
Also a very conservative city, isn't it, in Texas? Like out of all the big ones?
It shouldn't be. Texas is blue. Texas is blue.
Not blue.
Houston's blue. All the major cities are blue. Okay. So it's really weird. But
Houston's like a little bubble of blue and a big sea of red.
Yeah, but it's also part of the Bible Belt. So yeah, you can still be blue, but still be very religious.
It's more conservative than other parts because good friend of the show, Carrie, I want to say he's in Houston. He once made a comment about that. That is one of the more out of the couple big cities. It's a little not as friendly.
No judgment whatsoever. The idea of renting a sex doll, like you would that thing would have to be so thoroughly cleaned, and I can't even go to a hotel and sleep on the sheets of it.
Remember, never touch the curtains of a hotel room because they don't wash those.
I mean, I wouldn't want to rent it, but also, why do people give a shit where somebody shoves their dick? Like, who gives a shit? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, no judgment.
I don't care if mine's about to go in there soon.
Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't care what somebody's fucking like. Why? Whatever that makes them happy, give a shit. Like, let them have their fantasy with their sex doll. Like, why not? But people are like, how dare you enjoy this? Because I can't. My religion tells me I.
Now look at Texas. They can't even. They're trying to ban weed completely. Bunch of bastards.
I'm surprised Texas hasn't tried to ban women completely yet.
They're working on it.
They've officially banned porn, right? Like you can't look at porn in Texas unless you have an ID, right?
Yes.
That's all over the Bible Belt.
Oh,
yes, they're not allowed to look at their porn anymore. Good job, idiot.
That's what they voted for.
Pornhub blocked them all too. So.
Oh yeah, I think it's also did Paris block Pornhub or did Pornhub block Paris?
Pornhub probably did it because Pornhub is the reason why I blocked it for Texas, because when they introduced that law for the ID, they said it was bullshit, and then they blocked themselves. I mean, you still get to a VPN or just go on many other sites, but people are dumb.
Oh. So. And then one thing that it's going to be my starting point to bitch about this game, that way we can kind of jump into the story. Kara's story.
I want sex robots more.
Okay. Kara's story is absolutely ruined by the twist that Alice is not a real girl.
What twist? That shit was so obvious in the third chapter.
All right. You say that, but some people might play through this entire game, get to Jericho with Kara, and then realize it. Some people might have that reaction. I'm not saying I know anyone personally.
The same people that killed everyone in the second chapter, the first chance they got, you psycho.
Thought I did. But Marcus automatically gets shot no matter what in that chapter. But I thought he died because he got shot, but he dies no matter what, and then comes back, doesn't actually die. And then Connor can get shot so fucking easy if you make like very simple choices. He's getting shot.
Connor's the only one that can come back, though. That's why.
Yes.
Over and over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they kill him so easily. No, I found out Marcus actually can't die until the march. He can die at the march if he's not liked by his friends. He'll then nobody will save him.
Really? Okay. That's how that works. All right.
That's
the first time?
Yeah, I guess so.
Kara can die by a few different things. She can get hit by a car and die, I think. I didn't look up all her stuff.
I think Todd can kill her and Alice in this third chapter. Whatever her second chapter is, where the game really pushes you to escape Todd, and they make it very easy, but he can kill both of them right then and there, and that'll be the end of her story.
Wow. That's kind of shitty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it gets way worse, Mike. Like there's a couple of things where I don't know if while we're talking, you could always look them up or afterwards. But a lot of the endings are pretty fucking crazy.
I didn't look up much. I didn't look up what you sent. I started to watch a YouTube video, but then I didn't get a chance to finish it.
So basically, if you get any of them killed very early on, which I think as long as Marcus dies and you die as Connor, I think you can get the bad ending where basically they're taking Marcus apart on a table and Campsy's like, oh yeah, we can't predict AI. It's like really weird. But the way he's talking, he and if you do his story, the way he basically describes it is there's no way to keep AI from doing this. We'll make more robots, but it's just going to happen again.
I think the only way, not about Marcus dying, it's about him pissing off Amanda enough, who is his AI handler at CyberLife.
Oh, Connor, yeah.
To basically tell him we're not using you anymore.
Okay.
I think you
He
have
did
to
get mad at
fail-
me later in the game. She
Who
did
did?
not like Amanda.
Oh, Amanda. Well, she was a bitch. I didn't like her at all.
She also wasn't real.
She just wasn't the most interesting character, even. And there was a lot of uninteresting characters to choose from, and she was probably the one that I just did not give a crap about this entire game.
You want a really weird one. I'll give you a really weird one.
Okay.
We keep ignoring it because, like I said, it's my biggest issue with this game because I hate David Cage so much. You telling me Todd bought a child robot and a woman robot just to beat them like every night?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
believable.
Well, after she
as
cleaned
you
the
do.
kitchen. First she cleaned the kitchen and then made supper, and then he beat the shit out of her.
But like
That's super fucking believable, actually.
when you replay it a second time, because I honestly always believe you should always go completely the opposite way with this, because the evil ending's actually insane. Honestly, when you replay it a second time, you fully expect Todd to pick up Alice and start licking the tears off her face. Because it's not real.
Okay, I gotta wonder, does he have to manually refill tears?
I mean, I hope so.
I mean, they eat. So
What? Well, why would you have an automatic tear generation built into your robot? Who designs?
And that's my other issue with the game. There's a scene going back to the sex robot where one of them talks about how she's like, hey, I hate being a sex robot because I hate smelling sweaty fat men every day. And it's like, wait, why did you guys put smelling in these fucking robots? Are you stupid?
Why was I designed to feel pain?
Exactly. And they feel
But
pain.
you know people, creators would do that, okay? Like, it's just what somebody would like, I can do this, so I'm going to do it.
Like I'm going to use an example from like a previous David Cage game, and not so much the game itself, to kind of describe how David Cage writes. It was for Beyond Two Human. He was doing like one of the big trailer releases for it. He gets up there on stage and talks about how all these modern games they just try to get you with like violence, action, guns, and car chases. I'm not doing any of that. Here's the trailer for a game. A trailer full of guns, violence, car chases, and explosions.
I played that game.
It was in the trailer he showed immediately after saying that.
That game is about going to war. What the fuck is he talking about?
There is an interview out there, him talking about Detroit, where he says, this game, of course there's not a civil rights allegory, as he has an underground railroad run by Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
I say this as someone who has enjoyed a lot of stuff from David Cage. This man is insane, and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
True statement.
I think I pointed, like how I worded it a while back in some random tweet years ago. It's like, I think David Cage has an ability to create an atmosphere and scene like few other game developers. The problem is they're all written by David Cage, who doesn't understand how people work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, I can still think back to Heavy Rain, that even just that scene of having to, like, saw your anger off is intense. It is uncomfortable in the best way possible. But this is the same game where he includes that weird, awkward, quick time event sex scene.
It's more
that you
of,
can't fail.
can we do it or should we do it type of thing, and we can, so we shall. And no one top to think if we should, I guess, however it works.
I also firmly believe that this game is also carried by its actors. Brian Achart, who plays Connor, the cute detective boy, became legitimately famous after this. Everyone loves him. He's like one of the top Twitch streamers because everyone loves about how much a cutie booty he is. And he actually met his wife on this. The sex robot, Tracy, the one with blue hair, is his wife in real life. Like they met they met on this and got married. What is it? Weirdly enough, Jesse Williams is already known for like being famous, but also he's also a civil rights person in real life too. That's also why he agreed to do this. And I'm like, I That is a weird coincidence. But then again, David Cage is also a fucking liar. Because I believe Michael said it earlier as well anyway.
I mean, it's 100% a civil. This game is a civil allegory. Like you can't say it isn't unless you're just lying.
Oh no, he wrote it. Clearly, it can't be. Why would he say otherwise?
If somebody paid him not to,
it's not like he also just has Malcolm X as one of the characters, basically.
I mean, I feel like that was just something where somebody who was paying him said, yeah, you tell people that it's not because we don't want to be associated with that. I mean, again, 2018, America is very different. It's going through its beginning of fascism with Trump. And now look at us now. So I would not be surprised that played a part in it. Because I mean, hell, if this game came out today, this game would be considered woke. So,
well, I'm sure by many it is. What isn't?
Yes, but it's also not in it's not new, so nobody's talking about it. But like, if this game came out, it'd be fucking like ripped apart online.
Yeah,
it was ripped apart online when it came out. What are you talking about?
It still has a lot of fans, and as far as like Brian DeChart goes, being Connor, he did a phenomenal job. I even better than I thought he did better than Jesse Williams, who did amazing, but I thought Brian was better. Connor's story was the best one. I don't know. I see why he blew up after this.
One of the things I love about that story with Connor and the detective, apparently that's one of the things that David Cage came out hating, because essentially those two would just start talking that most of their stuff wasn't scripted.
Who, Brian or Connor and Hank?
Yeah, they were just kind of ripping the whole time, just talking to each other. Chemistry. Yeah.
Sometimes it worked.
It worked great because David Cage didn't write it.
Yeah.
He had the idea for the outline, but again, he doesn't understand people, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't write stuff like this. So when those two just started talking and going, it worked better than anything he'd written for them.
They by far had the best dialogue the best back and forth. The one time I laughed out loud during this game is when Connor was describing his programming, and he was telling Hank, CyberLife designed me to be more human. And Hank looks at him and he goes, well, they fucked up. And I thought that part was great. I had to pause it and laugh.
That's probably because it was just him doing it. He probably just came up with that on the spot.
100%. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that that had to be what it was. But God, Clancy Brown is so good in this. I would purposely make sure to do things to keep that character happy, and that was the way I made my decisions when I was playing as Connor.
Oh yeah. And I mean that actor's he's just a powerhouse of talent. I mean, everybody loves him.
I did not know who he was before this either.
You never saw Starship Troopers?
I have a very long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's Mr. Krabs. God, you guys, come on.
Sorry, I forgot his pivotal role as Mr.
His pivotal role of Mr. Krabs.
Oh, we're not talking about Connor. We were talking about Clancy Brown.
Yeah,
Clancy Brown. Yeah.
Oh, I know Clancy Brown. He was in Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka. He's the mayor of Lothal. That's neither here nor there. I know Clancy Brown pretty well. I thought you meant Connor. I never recognized Connor before.
Yeah, I'm looking him up on IMDb now, and nope, don't know much of it.
The only reason I knew Mark is because I've seen too much Grey's Anatomy. Because my wife has watched all 21 seasons of that show. I think she started it this year and went and got through the entire thing. So I have seen lots of it off and on. So I'm like, oh, Miss Jackson. So I showed it to her. I showed her a picture. I'm like, I know you recognize the actor. Seconds. Within a second, she knew who it was.
It's funny.
It was pretty funny.
Who was Jesse Williams in Cabin in the Woods? I don't remember him in that movie.
Oh, he's a smart guy.
One of the guys underground in the lab?
No, he's the Sacrificial Teens.
Wow, I cannot think of it.
Yeah, but
I've seen that movie 3 or 4 times and I can't picture it.
Oh God, he's the quarterback guy. The
teens that go to the cabin. He's the other jock guy.
I did not realize he was in that. Okay.
Yeah, he's hot
on this podcast.
I recognize him because he's hot. He's a really hot guy.
I can't believe they let you kill Kara. That her character can die all the time. I think that's quite odd.
Well, you think that's weird. Marcus's stories basically affects her because you can do that whole run perfectly, and if you decide to be an asshole robot and beat people up, whenever you go to the checkpoint in Detroit and the guy looks at the news, he'll see a bunch of the robots beating each other up. And you can get Kara killed.
Oh, yeah, I think those are the only 2 stories that really affect each other. Connor's story doesn't really affect the other 2 until way late game. I remember there was the time where Kara and Alice were running across the highway if you get to that point in that story, but other than that I can't really think of a time Connor's really affected anyone else.
Yeah, I think because technically chasing her, you can get Connor killed, but you can also I think you can get her killed there too. I think, can't you?
Yeah, if you fail all the quick time events, you can get anyone killed in this game if you fail QTEs.
I did play in the easier difficulty where it gives you more chances because it's me.
No.
So I mean, I usually do good at QTEs, but I'm always trying to be safe in games because I don't want that to happen.
Well, and those were a video game thing that were kind of dying at that point, and people were getting sick of them. But not David Cage; he was really into them, apparently.
I still like them. I'm all for it as long as you can make it work. I'm fine with QTEs. Like stuff like this doesn't bother me at all.
I don't hate them, but when they just start shotgunning QTEs at you and they give you split seconds to do it, and so much depends on it, I gotta admit though, I didn't realize there was an easy mode.
I mean, maybe it wasn't originally, but it was there now because it gave me.
Yeah, I had the option too. Whenever I booted mine up. You start a new game and I ask you if you want to play on easy mode.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I mean, I don't think it made a huge difference, but I think it's essentially that way you have more chances if you fuck up QTs. Like, oh, you hit the wrong button, everybody's dead.
Yeah, and that happened quite a few times in this game. They threw a lot your way during certain points, but there were times where they were so important where if you fucked up that one time, that something major changed.
Okay, that I wouldn't care for. I didn't have too many issues where things were being messed up.
I never liked that with the decision making either. If they give you such a short time to make a decision, I get they're trying to base it on like if this were real life, you would have to make a split second decision, but this isn't real life, it's a game. Pause it. Let me think about this for a second.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. I don't really care when video games like, are going for like you said, oh, it's real, like you're a video game. Stay a video game. I get what you're going for, but you're still a video game.
That's why I can appreciate it when you hit the pause button and the pause screen it has a little bit of transparency. You can still see your options at the bottom.
I'm always happy when games let you pause so then I can do other stuff while I'm playing them, like I did this game. Try to. I was pretty enthralled with this game though too, more than I normally am.
Yeah,
I beat it in 2 days.
First time playing through it, I went straight through, I don't know what, 10, 11 hours maybe. There weren't any points where I was just bored out of my mind. Not really.
I remember I did something I don't normally do, and I took this game with me to bed, and I just laid in bed for like an hour and playing it, and I went, I should really go to sleep now. I was just having such a good time, and I wanted to finish. I think it was 2 or 3 days I beat this game, and it was really fast. Partly because I had to, because I have a podcast, and partly because I just couldn't put it down. Just having fun.
I think the only time I got kind of sick of whatever I was doing in this game was when I was playing as Marcus, and you're trying to find Jericho, and you have to match up the symbols on like with all the graffiti and everything. By the time I hit the, I don't know, 6th symbol, I was like, okay, can we just move this on? I get it.
Yeah,
I didn't mind that though. I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I had no problem with it. So, I don't know. I'm an odd gamer sometimes too. Like I was just enthralled with this game in a weird way.
This game was very good. Credit where credit's due. It was very good about its pacing. It had its highs and lows, and then the ending really picked things up. If you got to the ending, Mike.
I did.
Without killing everyone.
No, I did end up seeing everybody make it to the end. Kara made it across the river. Marcus survived. Everybody made it out alive.
And then there's some endings. There's some endings that are just pretty damn dark. Like if you get Kara and Alice all the way to the end, you can get them captured at some point. I think at the border maybe, or if you dick around too much at the bus station. You can get them captured and essentially sent to an android concentration camp or a kill camp, and that got dark.
Yeah.
That didn't happen to me, thankfully, but I could have seen it happening to me.
I think you even have an opportunity to abandon Alice in the camp.
Oh, but I do want to go back to like when we were talking a little bit about how like, there's clues to let you know that Alice is not a human girl. But the fact that she always gets cold is one of those things that's supposed to kind of make you think she's real, because apparently there's a feature that they turn on where you get cold as an android.
Yeah.
She's basically running child.exe.
Well, what I noticed was Kara asked her 50 times throughout the game if she was hungry, and the kid never ate.
I did not pick up on that.
There's a moment where you can feed her food from Rose, and I think she like doesn't eat it at all. But there is signs. I think the most obvious one was kind of like during Zalkos 2. Is he refers to the child as it, and he also doesn't like refer to it as human, period. He just refers of like dispose of it and like, oh, get rid of her. So he also knows that it's a robot as well.
For which person?
Zlatko, the one where you...
Oh, the asshole guy that's gonna reprogram you and sell you.
Yeah, lives
Yeah.
in the Resident Evil mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch that he calls her an it or not or anything.
Yeah. Well, he also has blue blood on his hands, too. If you notice, whenever you walk in, like they're
Okay.
stained.
Oh, I did not notice that, but he's fucking murdering people. I mean,
Now, when you got out of Zlatko's place, what was your outcome there?
the androids came and ate him.
The zombie androids?
Yeah, I
Okay,
released
that was
them.
the one I always get to. I thought that was the best one. Apparently there's a way, and I've never done this, there's a way to reactivate an android bear.
Yes.
Yeah, I did that. It doesn't kill him. It distracts him in the room, and then and he gets attacked. You can run. You open a cage, which I did do.
Okay, but it doesn't actually kill him.
No, it's either from what I was reading online, it's either the androids will kill him or Luther will just shoot him.
Yeah, Luther shoots in the tummy.
Isn't there a way for him to get Luther killed at that point too?
Luther died in my game later. He died in Jericho.
God damn it.
So,
Mike, god damn it. The more I hear about your ending, the more it pisses me off. God damn
are you
it.
surprised? This is not your first time recording with me.
I know, but god damn.
My first time I got Luther killed in Jericho.
Okay, yeah, I got the girl. I got Alice killed on the boat crossing the river.
So if Luther's alive, she can be saved. But if you get to the boat, Luther always dies. There's no way to have him live crossing the river.
But I'm assuming that she can survive if you're not stupid.
Yeah, she can survive.
Well,
I think the only way to keep Luther alive is to get across the border on foot or on the bus, I think it was.
Yeah, because you get the tickets. The woman drops the tickets, and if you're an asshole, you can keep the tickets and then use it to get on the bus yourself.
Well, even if you don't do that, if Marcus picks the peaceful ending, the border agent on the way into Canada will see that on the news and he'll let them pass, even without passports or tickets or anything.
Oh, I had passports and I got in because I did the peaceful thing for Marcus because to me that's what made the most sense. That's how I played games.
So I kind of customized the story to what I thought was the most interesting. And I liked the idea of Marcus starting out peacefully and then after the march, seeing all of his android friends get gunned down and then them running away, him getting more and more violent and then choosing the violent ending.
That's fair. I unfortunately can't play like that, but that's fair.
I don't know. I just thought it made a better character arc to have him kind of turn into an asshole at the end.
Well, you can play this game very, very generously loosely because you can have a aggressive Marcus, but just not a lethal Marcus. Because at the march, you can start a fight, but you don't have to kill anyone. You can have all non-killing moves. Like he'll play aggressively, but not where he kills people, which is really interesting.
I only shot one person as Marcus, and that was the guy fleeing the radio station because I knew there was no way he could stay alive. He got shot.
Oh, in the TV station.
TV station, yeah. I was like, there's no way I can let this guy live.
That was one of those split second decisions too. And I think I killed that guy too.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't think you have a choice.
Yeah, you do.
But it does have something.
I mean, you have a choice, yes, but like I knew what he was going to do. He wasn't going to go run away and hide. He was going to go get people with guns.
Well, and they had that one meter there, the public opinion meter, which I thought was really interesting because that was the one that I cared about the most. I didn't give a shit what North or Simon or anybody else thought of me. I just wanted the public opinion of me to be high.
North matters.
I thought North was kind of shitty.
Fucking hate
She
North.
is, but she does matter for her opinion, actually. It has to do with the game. There's a reason it matters because if she's lower, she won't save you at one point or something. Or no, she doesn't save you. Josh or someone else saves you. I really like that actress though. Like there's when she changed her hair color and has that hat on and that half shoulder shirt. I was like, okay, I can get behind this. So
Minka Kelly.
I liked her.
Yeah, she was good. She was a good character. I didn't see her as a
she's an asshole. Like there's no question about that part. She's a bitch in this, but
Yeah.
I get it. Like I think she also was a sex robot too, from the sound of it.
Yeah.
So thinking about that makes perfect sense. You're seeing humans at some of their wars because these people, see this, probably like many assholes out there, who are using women in different ways or people, like they see them as nothing. I get it. To me, it makes sense why she hates humans as much as she does.
Oh yeah, her motivation made total sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not to the point of wanting to set off a dirty bomb.
I mean, if you feel backed into a wall, and you're like, we want to free our people, but I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, dirty bomb's not really going to help the situation.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff you can do in this game is absolutely interesting. What is it? You can go whole evil. I think one of the really fucked up things you can also do too, you can still stay as a cop or stay as a cyber life person as Connor, and you can befriend Hank. So whenever you whenever you're technically evil Connor and you go to the roof to like snipe Marcus, there's 2 optional people who can stop you. One is the SWAT team leader who you meet in the beginning of the game during the like, where you do Connor's tutorial.
Yeah.
But the other one is Hank's. So in Connor's evil route, if you befriend Hank, he'll try to stop you on the roof, and he can't kill you, so you have to kill Hank on top of the fucking roof. And if you don't befriend him, he's at home and he just ends up winning Russian roulette. It's like really depressing.
Yeah,
That is depressing.
Hank's endings could get really. His endings either got really depressing or really, really happy.
Yeah,
I liked it, the one I got, where they end up seeing each other at the end after everything. I thought
In
that
front
was
of
good.
the burger stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think the first time I did it, Hank actually, I went as a deviant as Connor, and then broke in or infiltrated CyberLife, went down to the basement with the thousands and thousands of other Connors. But that one evil Connor kidnapped Hank or tricked him.
Yes.
And I think whatever I did, I got Hank killed in that scenario. But I wasn't too sad about it. I mean, it sucked, but at the same time, he was like, "It's fine. I'm gonna go see my son." I was like, "Oh, Hank."
I mean, he was suicidal. I mean, you have the part where you come in and he's drunk and tried to, you know, like. So
but then my
kind
first thought was, well, who's gonna take care of Sumo?
yeah.
Can Connor take care of Sumo now?
I love that dog.
should take care of a dog. I think my favorite, though, out of the 3 characters is definitely Kara. I really liked her campaign in this. I don't know what it was, but something about being a woman with a little girl running away, I liked it a lot.
Each campaign had their highs and lows.
Yes.
Kara's was the most stagnant for me, and I can't really explain why. There were just times where I just wanted to, because a lot of times they would end it on a really high point for Connor or Marcus, and they would go to Kara, and I'm like, I want to see what happened there, though.
Yeah, hers is a lot of just hiding and traveling, and a lot of other people wanting to hurt you.
Yeah, it was very little picture compared to the other 2.
Because hers is such a different story.
It was still good in its ways, but yeah, Connor and Marcus, they were very broad spectrum, big picture kind of stories.
Also, I was wondering why Alice doesn't have the little node on her head.
Well, you remember Kara took a screwdriver and just popped hers right off.
Yeah, but why did he do that to? I guess he wanted Alice to be his daughter, even though he beats his daughter.
Yeah, some people are weird.
Yeah.
Well, did you get the so there? That's another really big hint, which is funny. If you go back and you basically be nice to Alice in the beginning, you can get the key to her her little box, and it shows a picture of her bleeding from her forehead where the little mark would go. So technically, he took it out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did look in the box. I did see a picture. None of this clicked. Like, I thought Alice was a real person until, like I said, on the boat, when the game tells you. Did not, even though there's hints, did not see it coming.
The biggest sign, that little girl in that picture that you find of what the hell's the dad's name? Todd?
Yeah.
Of Todd, his wife, and his daughter. That little girl's blonde, and Alice is black hair. So,
to be fair, they'll change their hair color.
Yeah. I just thought it's funny that you relook at that picture and you go, oh, that's not an accident. That's very much on purpose.
But
You just don't think of it.
He afforded it. How he afforded 2 androids.
Well, he was a drug dealer. I mean, he was selling that.
Oh, he was selling it?
Yeah, you remember he was on the phone with that guy during when Alice was cleaning the kitchen, and he's talking about, yeah, I got it. I can bring it here. He was making a drug deal on the phone.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, I'm like, how the hell did this guy afford 2 androids when he's complaining about being unemployed and now he has no job because the androids took it?
Yep, he was dealing that. And then I think at one point, if you go do the laundry in Todd's house, you look in the detergent, there's a big bag of red ice in there.
Okay.
And then Todd's standing right behind you, and he's about to beat the shit out of you again.
Yeah, and one of the like the books you can find, which I think is kind of funny, but they also confirm it. One of the big reasons why deviancy is up is because of robot beatings, but it's because people think that CyberLife is using the government to spy on people. And I think they actually confirm that they don't actually have a way, especially because if a robot gets deviancy, they lose all that ability and stuff like that. So even if they did turn deviant, they wouldn't have proof, which is even funnier.
So why is everybody beating up their androids in this world? I mean, it's not far off. People, when you look at the 1800s with slavery, they beat their slaves for no reason. So it's not far off what people would do, but it's like, why?
Yeah, I don't see it as all that outlandish that people would do that.
It's not. It's just, it bothered me. I'm like, why are you beating up? Like, you paid money for this. Why are you beating it up?
I mean, it wasn't every human. No. There were actually a lot of really decent ones in this game. And that was honestly one of my only complaints about the Android side of it is there were no like insane, super fucked up traitor androids. Like I would have loved to have seen an evil android in this game. I mean,
I think you can be.
you can choose to be kind of a dick, but in the end, you're still the protagonist. But I would have liked to have seen like an android like trying to round up other deviant androids and trying to take them back to cyberlife. Something like that would have gone a long way in this story.
Okay, I think that's fair.
You can you can kind of find some stuff like that. I was going to ask, which is kind of funny, Mike. Where did y'all go for Kara's, like, whenever she escaped Todd's house? Like, did you steal money for the hotel or?
No, we went into the abandoned house.
Oh, you did get the abandoned house. Okay.
So I got the weird guy that's like, Ralph is this, Ralph is that. That guy.
Ralph was awesome.
Oh God, do people love to beat up androids in this world? Because even he's all messed up too. He's like, sometimes humans come in and beat and hurt me.
Oh yeah, his face was all cut up and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was fair. Like, people would do that. I did everything peaceful as much as I could. I tried not to, I didn't want to steal, because I realized that's what the game was trying to get. You know, one of the options that I could do is then go to the hotel. I mean, I did steal the clothes for Kara at the laundromat. I did do that, but I don't think you have much of a choice. We need clothes.
Yeah, I think you have to, because there's certain things you can do. You don't have to get clothes. Because if you go to the hotel, you have to get clothes, because you can't. If you go up to the site,
no androids.
It says no androids, but both the house and the car, I think it's mostly about stealing clothes for Alice, because if you play it as Kara will put a different jacket on once you finish that area up, because she'll have the whole thing where she'll put the clothes on and cut her hair.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
I was going to go to the hotel, but I didn't want to steal money from the cash register, because I'm like, well, this will get some police attention.
Wasn't there a set of clothes if you chose the house, wasn't there a set of clothes in there you didn't have to steal?
Yes, there's a set of clothes in the house. There's also a set of clothes in the back of the car, which is like the shittiest choice you can take.
Yeah, I did the car once just to see what it was like, and I thought that was really stupid.
I almost did the car, but Alice didn't want to get in the car, so then we didn't go in the car.
And I mean, the house just had it was the most interesting. Like, he tries to feed Alice a dead possum or something.
Yeah. I think it's still moving too whenever he throws it in the fire.
I mean, okay, I know I complained earlier about Alice never eating in this game, but I didn't blame her that time.
Also, how did he not know she was an android?
Yeah,
the other people know.
I think it's so people notice that she doesn't eat, I think is what it is. But whenever they first meet her, they think she's a kid because she doesn't have the LED.
Yeah,
I did see where they did say that them making child bots are extremely rare. That's why you don't see a lot of them. That's why out of the whole game, you only see like 3. You find one is Marcus when he first goes to Jericho, and where one of the androids says, "Oh yeah, they just threw him away when they were done with them." And
yeah.
And then the other one is the revelation whenever you see a second child and you realize that that's not your Alice and that Alice is a robot.
I was still thrown for a loop.
Like, why they would do that in the first place, or that she was actually
that she was an android. No, I'm not surprised that humans are shitty and made children robots. That would happen.
Yeah.
My biggest issue is that it ruins Kara's story, because Kara's whole story is, can a robot be a mom? But when the kid's also a robot, then yeah, it's physically fucking possible. But when
she's not aware of it.
Doesn't really matter, because I mean, if Kara was human, she would have starved to death at some point.
No, I fully agree with that. I think if Alice were a human, it would have made for a better story.
Plus, you end up having that at the end of the day, where the big scene at the end of the game, where, because you still have the 2 choices of either being shot in a field or being shot at the Canada line, where if Alice is human, then she begs them to not kill her robot mom, and it's much more influential, as opposed to where it's, oh, they're just 2 robots, and so it's really whatever. And then if you pick the wrong choices, then she doesn't defend you and you get Kara killed.
Oh, if you're an asshole?
Yeah, if you're an asshole to the child. You can be an asshole to that child.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
I never did it because that's not me, but yeah.
Yeah.
I can't invest the time to go through a whole game and just be an asshole just to see what happens. So I would just watch YouTube videos like worst outcome for so and so, or being a dick to Hank, or something like that. And there are a lot of times where Hank will just straight up shoot Connor in the face.
Yeah.
There are multiple instances of that.
Oh, if he doesn't see you as a person, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But even Hank, I mean, I know how much hatred he has for androids, but at the end he kind of admits that he only blamed androids because it was easy. It was really a doctor who was high that why he couldn't operate on his son. And I don't know, I never really bought Hank's hatred for androids, and it turned out to not really be all that true anyways. But there are times as Connor, if you piss him off enough, he'll just blast you. Because he doesn't give a shit.
I think it's not more of a hatred of androids. I think it's a hatred of death. And I think the idea is that specifically because Connor comes back, it kind of pisses him off. It's like, well, you can just come back whenever you want to. You're a special cyberlife robot. I think that's
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more what it is. It's less about hating androids and it's more about him hating death.
No, that's fair. And he lost his can't die, especially because Connor comes back depending on how you play, a few times. For me, because I replayed a chapter after Connor died in the interrogation room, and he did still die at the radio tower when the guy pulls out a machine gun. I saved Hank, and then he died when you're supposed to just shoot the guy. Because I didn't think that would work. But I wasn't thinking of the fact of, he's a robot, so he has perfect aim. That's all I took it.
The game's crazy. With all the different stuff. Funny enough, like give an example, you said that scene there. You can also forget to not check the roof, and you can find that's if you get that guy killed too, because you can go to the roof and explore. But if you do certain things wrong, you'll get one of Marcus's friends shot, and you can technically miss him if you try to investigate too soon.
Oh, kind of cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot to this game, and I could tell that there were a lot of different options. I would see all the after you finish a chapter, it shows you all the options, what you could have picked, where you could have went. Like everything's there for you to see.
Yeah, and all the percentages of total amount of players that got that outcome.
I really do like that in these type of games. I like seeing what other people did.
It got me to a point where I would finish a chapter and I would have to find the fully revealed flowchart just to see what could have happened had I done A or B.
Okay, I didn't go that far.
Just because I was curious. There were times where I knew I wanted to pick something just to see what would happen, but I thought the story would go better if I did it this way, or like just personally I felt it should go this way. But it would be in the back of my mind, what would have happened if I would have picked this?
No, that's fair. There were times where I wondered too. I did play 2 chapters over again in the beginning because I didn't like how things played out because I died. But that was it. And then I tried not to. I mean, no one else died for me though until the very end when Alice got shot on the boat. Because there's a part when you're crossing the river and the boat sees you, don't go for the engine like I did, and then they shoot Alice.
Did you get Marcus and Connor's both like their good endings where like I guess Connor gets like free rights to the androids and or Marcus does, and then Connor's also there.
Yeah, he was
Connor,
just there.
like Connor can choose to become deviant, but then at the end, when Marcus is given his victory speech, Amanda will override him. She'll override Connor, and then you have to hit a fail safe or something and gain control back.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of shows Connor's face, like his eye twitches a little bit, and he's good.
I was surprised when you find out that Amanda's actually in his head. Like, at first I thought it was like either flashbacks or he was going to an office. Not that it was just in his head.
Yeah, I didn't really see that coming, but again, I wasn't super interested in Amanda or her story or what was going on with her.
It was a little boring.
There's something weird you can find. I believe you can find earlier that she's not real. Because I think you can find an article that says that she was Kamsky's mentor.
That's when you go to Kamsky's house. You see a picture of her.
Yeah, you see a picture of her.
She was his old professor.
Yeah, so you think that she might be you think something's going on with her, so it's kind of hinted, but not very well.
Also, I was surprised how young Kamsky is when you meet him.
Yeah,
you think of a genius, I was thinking of someone that's like old at this point, not guy that's like his 40s.
Well, yeah, you think of a young guy. Every big smart rich person looks like they should be 30, but they've actually had a bunch of plastic surgery. Smart guys who create their own inventions and don't steal them from other companies and then play them off as their own, and they get surgery to make themselves look younger. So you think they look younger, but they actually don't. And when you see a full body picture of them, you realize they look like a big, gross fucking glump. I'm talking about Elon Musk.
I know you are. I've seen the pictures of him before and after.
Yeah, picking up what you're putting down.
No, I mean you're not wrong. There's a guy, I forget his name. He has a documentary on Netflix I watched where he spends all this money to look as young as he can, like exercise and does like crazy shit. I forget his name though, and I forgot what he invented too that made him rich.
I think his name. I think is that the same one you're talking about that gets like blood transfusions like every week or something.
It's ridiculous what the guy goes through.
And didn't they reveal that doesn't actually working and that he's actually making himself like sicker?
They're not sure. I mean, he has a body that's younger, but I mean, who knows if that's going to matter? I mean, I'm also pretty sure that if he gets hit by a car, none of that will matter. But hey, I don't know. It just seems like, I mean, it's also such a crazy thing that only somebody who's filthy rich could be doing, where it's like, well, yeah, if any of us were rich and didn't have to work and could exercise and eat well, like we'd all be healthier. Yeah, but we all got to do something called work, and buy our food and cook our food. And like, I mean, all the guy does is like exercise. stuff like that. Because well, he can. He's rich.
Yeah, stupid tangent, but that's like how these guys talk about how they're like, what do you mean we have to give kids free lunch? They can just go work in the fields like I did. And it's like, motherfucker, you are come from rich parents. Do not lie to me and tell me you worked as like a fucking 13-year-old kid. You fucking liar.
Yeah, it's the bullshit thing. I mean, in this world, you have a lot of where like people are like, oh, we can't work because the androids took our jobs. And I'm like, again, blame the corporation. I said earlier, like, you don't.
See, what's funny is the Jetsons had a cure for that. That's why that didn't happen in the Jetsons, which is you hire a guy to push a button, and that's how you don't lower fucking, what is it called?
Yes, but in this world and this country, like, if they could get rid of a job, they'll get rid of a job.
I say is I can't find a job because they want to replace tech support with AI, so.
Yeah, luckily my job, you need a person, otherwise it wouldn't go nowhere for what I do, thankfully. But I get it.
I mean, you can't anyways. There's always got to be someone because you can only do so much with AI, and that's the even bigger issue is that no one thinks of that. I say is technically this game, even though it is run by AIs, you also see the AI is imperfect. Give an example. They tell Marcus his stupid ass to take his face off. Connor realizes it's Marcus because of the serial number on his fucking face.
I don't think they did it to hide detection. I think they did it more for.
Well, funny enough, in the story,
who they are.
Well, that too. But in the story canon, Marcus is a custom-made robot. Like he was made by what's his name, Kamsky.
Yeah, he's made by Jared Leto's character.
Yeah, he's made by Kamsky for.
I know it's not Jared Leto, but
yeah,
fucking looks like Jared Leto and acts like Jared Leto too.
No, he looks like the guy he plays as. The guy that plays him, he's a Stereon for Baldur's Gate 3.
Neil Newbin.
Yeah, Neil Newbin. He's also Carl Heisenberg in RE8, and I think of him less as a Jared Leto and more as a Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I just kept seeing Jared Leto from Blade Runner and stuff, and I was just like, I just don't care for Jared Leto either. So
yeah, I know.
There's a lot of voice actors in this game that I would look them up and like, oh my god, I had no idea how much stuff they were in that I knew. Like this guy, the guy who played Kamsky, Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy 16.
Who's he in 16?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm digging right now. It's on his IMDb. I know that.
I don't know. The whole stuff with Kamsky, like you go there and I didn't shoot the android for him, so I never got it. He didn't give us any answer. We just left.
What was the question?
What's causing them to go whatever that word is?
Well, he said if you shoot this android, he'll answer any question. And that's one of them is why deviancy. But I never saw that. I had no inkling to shoot that android because I knew Connor didn't want to. I didn't want to as a player, and then I've got Hank over here telling me not to. So I'm not going to do it.
And that's the answer to the question, is that deviancy is created by robots disobeying their orders, which is basically giving them free will. So it's basically giving them a conscience as well. So technically that it's a whole double loop around, which like I said, in the bad ending, it reveals that Kamsky did invent deviancy, but he technically didn't do it. It's just the idea of all AI will eventually become deviant no matter what. Like the whole RA9 thing is just made so androids can think that they can become free, and that creates that process of them becoming deviant. To which then, if they're told, hey, kill a fellow robot, and they don't, that's deviancy going through. And then they try to self-explain it by going, oh, that's not deviancy, that's just me not doing the right thing, or not doing the wrong thing, I'm doing the right thing. And that until they can't explain anymore, and the answer is, oh, I'm doing this because I have free will.
And that made sense in the game. There were times, though, where I kind of wish they would have expanded on what RA9 actually was. They did leave it up to the player to decide that.
I would have liked more, too.
They just kind of dropped it. After the first third of the game, they just kind of didn't even really mention it.
Well, it is what it is. RA9 is the game.
I don't know what you mean.
Adam, do you know what the game is?
What?
God damn it. How do I lose that? Holy shit.
I don't know.
Y'all are both not millennials, which is the game. If you know what the game is, you've already lost.
Are you talking about that stupid thing? Yeah, I know what that is.
That's what RA9 is. Once you start questioning what RA9 is, you've already started deviancy because it implants an idea that free will is possible.
I hate that stupid game idea. So dumb.
I mean, it makes sense. Okay, I get what they were going for, is what I was saying.
But no, I did want more. Like, I wanted there to be like, there going to be some kind of like god that exists or something for them that they're. It is interesting. I was also never bored in this game. I do want to say that. I was happy to play anybody's chapter. I mean, it did make me think of Heavy Rain, how like was everybody going to end up at the same place, but they don't because Kara has nothing to do with the final part. She's off just trying to get into Canada.
Yeah. And
and that's funny. Canada is very topical today too. She's trying to flee to Canada. Very topical.
Yeah, that part
Yeah.
made a lot of sense.
Like, I get that, Kara. I get it. If I didn't have a
So-
kid here, I might be I thought the same thing.
For your
Few times.
ending, Mike, for Kara's ending,
Yes.
it's right. It was at the bus station. Did you run into Todd?
No.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I didn't realize you could do that until my second playthrough. If Todd's alive and you just escape him, you can actually run into him at the bus station.
Oh.
Doesn't he feel bad?
If you convince him to feel bad, that can go a couple of different ways. If you get violent with him, he'll actually call the guards over and they'll just shoot you on the spot.
No
Or
shit.
you can convince him by telling him why he adopted Alice or why he did what he did, and to just please let them go, have a heart and let them go. And he actually will. He'll apologize to Alice, he'll hug her, and then he'll send you on your way.
Yeah, a lot of Todd's story is real. Actually, I take that back. There's actually even more evidence too. So besides finding a note that talks about, because you can find a book that talks about how robot kids, they can turn the LEDs off. They don't have to eat, they don't have to poop, and they won't whine and complain, things like that. If whenever you're playing as Connor, if you as soon as it's the part where you go up to Hank and you can ask Hank questions, you go, well, can I have a desk? And he'll go, oh, the desk right next to me, just take that one. If you don't immediately hold down triangle to scan all the files, you can go to one by one. You'll actually find Kara's police report, but it doesn't say that she took a kid. It just says that depending on what you do, whether she kills Todd or leaves, if she leaves, it'll say that she beat him up, even though she didn't, which is also true because you can beat him up. But there's no mention of a lost child.
Good point. That would have been something that would have been a big deal.
Yeah, and then the next one, funny enough, because I didn't know, it's a funny twist. In the beginning, when you pick Marcus, when you're playing as Marcus, if you pick to attack his son, you think he's dead. The police report will confirm he's alive faster than that ending where you go back to Carl's house.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is weird that he didn't, because it looks like he died. It looks like he hit his fucking head and just died.
Yeah, I thought he was dead too.
Yeah, and he wakes up in Android hell, just a junkyard, but it was like, good God, this is hell.
Oh, you mean
did they not, you think they would have, unconnected the power first before they put him in the junkyard? Nope, just throw him in there.
A, it's the one good scene of the whole game, and B, yeah, no shit, I fucking hate America. We would be that useful. Tons of robots with working parts, and we don't think to fucking recycle them. No, we just throw them in a big pit to rust.
I mean, hey, they're made out of plastic too, so hey.
And
they say plastic a lot.
All interchangeable parts.
Oh yeah, because they're 3D printed. I forgot they're 3D printed.
Oh.
But yeah, that scene in the junkyard was phenomenal, and it made me really appreciate the sound quality in this game, because you remember how his audio sensors were all fucked up, and he had to go looking for the new ones. And once you stick the new one in, you get a little bit of static, and then bang, all the sound is coming in crystal clear.
Yeah, that was cool. It made me appreciate
the sound quality in this whole game.
Well, the game is well done.
Oh, I do have one more big issue. I forgot part of my stupid bullshit. So in Marcus's story, you start Marcus off, he gets the paints, he goes home, whatever. Whenever you and Carl come back, Marcus calls the cops and walks in, and no matter what happens, and I'll take it to where this way, let's say you do what Carl says and you don't hurt his son. The cops walk in and his son goes, oh, the robot did it, he killed my dad. You have on file that a robot called that someone broke in the fucking house. Why would you shoot the robot?
Because of prejudice. Because of
it was their
distrust.
Inherent. Yeah,
I know, but it's so weird.
I mean, look at America. How many times there was? I think it happened in Minnesota where some woman called the cop on someone attacking her, and they shot her when they got there.
You know what? You're right. I forgot.
I mean, how many black women have been shot and killed? Or like she called the cop. Oh, we saw the person. We shot him. Like, did you check? So,
yeah,
that's usually the choice I made anyways. I chose not to defend myself, because if you go that route, what'll happen towards the end, right before Marcus's final push, is you'll visit Carl's grave and you'll run into his son.
Nah, I prefer the other one where beating up his son knocks him out of his heart attack, and then you can go see him later and it looks like he's a different lover, and you tell the lover to go away, and then you have a nice heart to heart with your dad.
Yeah, I mean that they both have their merit. I don't know. I like the idea of really important characters dying and giving other characters different motivations. But I mean, that's why the whole point of this game is to make your own choices, what you would do, and then build what you think is the best story. And I can appreciate about these games, and why I kind of take it with a grain of salt when I hear the criticism, because it's not the same game for everybody every time.
No, there's a lot of choices. Like when I would see the trees, I'm like, my God, there's a lot of stuff I could have went down this road or done this. Like they gave me a lot of options.
I say because you have a lot better options. You played Until Dawn. The other one's really good too. What's the other fucking one that came out? The Creek.
Don't know.
They made a Creek one. That one's
I'm
pretty
not
good
sure
too.
what that is. Sorry.
It's the same. It's the people who made Until Dawn made a game
I
called
know. Okay.
Yeah.
The Quarry?
The Quarry.
Quarry,
I have
yeah,
that, by the way.
Yeah.
I have not played that one yet.
That one's
I need
really
to get into
good.
that.
I have not.
I
I don't
love
play a lot of these. Like this was just. I try to switch up what we do on the show, so I don't play the same genre too much in a row. I'm looking at you, Spooktober, this year. But like, other than that, I mean that's kind of why I did this. I'm like, I need something different, and the length of a good length to put in for like a 1 week game. I did not expect to beat this game in 2 or 3 days. I just could not. I couldn't put it down.
Yeah,
But I do like how many different endings everybody gets. Like the fact that I killed Alice and Joe couldn't believe it. I think that was also great.
Yeah.
and I do genuinely like these kinds of games. Some of them are a hit or a miss, but for the most part, I can get sucked into something like this.
Yeah, they're fun.
Hell, even some of the old Telltale games that just fell flat on their faces, I thought were okay. The Game of Thrones one, I went through it. I liked it. Never went through it again, but it was interesting. I'll give it that.
Telltale is more of you just have to not try to look under the hood, and then you'll enjoy it more.
Yeah. Yeah, and
You
that's
start
the problem
thinking
that I
about it.
run into with these, because this one I got so into it, I did look under the hood and to see like where the decision trees went, and then I made that mistake with a lot of Telltale games and realized they all end up at the same spot.
Yes.
Kind of like the complaint that everybody had with Mass Effect 3's ending. Doesn't really matter what you do, you're ending up with 3 choices at the end.
But that's just how you have to make a video game.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Like you don't have a choice.
I
Any
think-
last thing you guys want to say?
I think as far as this one goes, they did the best they could with the story branching out. Super stellar cast, great sound, great graphics. I mean, I can't think of a time I was just incredibly bored with it.
Good sign of a game. All right, I guess then we'll go to questions, comments, and memories. I do have a few, and I almost forgot to post for them until last night and went, oh shit, or Friday night. I can't remember when it was, but it was late. Like it was late for me because it's supposed to go up Wednesday night. Is my brain thinking, but sometimes life just gets ahead of me and I forget. Let me see here. What do we got? I got a few people to comment. I'm never sure with some games that I post about. Okay, from the I watched the entire Orblood Super Replay group from Curtis G. I really loved the story, at least the choices I picked anyways. It was a fun experience to me. Compelling story, would play again. You should. And I did post this yesterday. And from Travis Wayne, I had a great time playing this, and the main menu's an all-timer for me. To see that slow progression with that certain character each time you boot up the game was a cool touch. I think it's Quantum Dream's best game, no doubt. Heavy Rain Beyond the others haven't particularly aged well. Detroit can be super on the nose with the story and unsubtle in various ways, but like you said, still very relevant and effective. Also, the sound design is immaculate. The robot graveyard sequence is demo-worthy if you have a good sound system. The voice acting is all top-notch as well. Nothing awkward like in their other games.
That was
We
one
didn't even
thing I
talk
never-
about her.
Who's that?
The girl on the title screen that will talk to you. At one point, she's like, "Are we friends?"
Oh yeah, she asked you
I said no.
the multiple choice questions that you can vote on.
Yeah, I told her to leave.
Well, and then at the
She's
end
like,
of the game,
"Can
you
I
can
leave?"
choose
I
to-
said, "Sure."
where you can choose to set her free.
Yeah, I set her free. I also told
Yeah,
her we
me
weren't
too.
friends either, so didn't like that.
Get
Well,
out of here.
But that's a cool touch. That the title screen talks to you.
I did like that part. Yeah,
It's weird.
I mean,
it's
this is a
weird,
David
but
Cage.
it fit.
Yes, it did. But yeah, it was just something I completely forgot about. So when that guy brought it up, I'm like, we have to mention this. Right. And then from Mark Donahue, but I loved it. From Darcy Neal, one of my faves. From Antone Trailer, it was a pretty decent game. Surprised David Cage had anything to do with it. Connor Story was by far my favorite of the characters.
Yeah, that's the consensus I usually see. Everybody loves Connor's story. I mean, they're not wrong. His was.
I like Kara's the most. Even though there wasn't much to it.
And they were all good. I don't think any of their stories were bad. They just had lower points than others, whereas Connor's I thought was consistently really well done.
That's fair.
It usually
And-
depends on how it goes.
And from the official Laser Time community, I have a few. From Sonia B. As a POC, I didn't like that game's simplistic story regarding racism, plus the fact that the majority of the POC robots were in service positions. But Clancy Brown's character being canonically a few months older than me ruled, and his twink robot boyfriend was hot. From Justin Farrington, it's been a while, but I've been meaning to go back and do it different. I loved it. Also, it has Lance motherfucking Hendrickson in it, so bonus awesome points for that. And from Luke Beatty, I really like that game. It has a ton of great segments, though it gets pretty dumb towards the end. My biggest issue was how Clancy Brown so quickly 180s on his opinion of the robots, regardless of your actions. If you decide to do what I did and keep Connor from ever gaining humanity or whatever, he's all like, I hate you now. I feel like he should have backed you up if you stayed true to your mission. It's been ages since I played it, and I may be misremembering things, but both of those character story arcs felt poorly executed to me. And the game kind of punishes you for not caring about robot rights. The twist with the little girl was also pretty dumb from what I remember. I would definitely give it another playthrough, though.
Yeah, I feel like if you have a consistent way of playing, you will see Connor and Hank's relationship evolve organically. If you go back and forth and do a bunch of weird random shit each time, it's going to look like it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fair, because it really should be however you play.
Yeah, like
if you're trying to play like one character.
Yeah, you spend the whole game befriending Hank and then choose to betray him out of nowhere at the end. That just doesn't sound right, because that's not who Connor's been evolving into this whole time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think it goes the other way too. I think if you really want to, at least you could get 2 playthroughs out of this game. I just think you should always swing one way than the other. If you should always play how you want to play it. But then I think the other thing is you should really play as aggressively you can the second time around. If you didn't, because like Kara can threaten motherfuckers with a gun whenever she wants to. It's actually a really funny scene.
Hey, she does have a gun.
Yeah, you can carry that gun around the whole time too. What is it? Having Marcus become like a I'll do whatever it takes for my fucking robot family is actually it can get pretty crazy, even down to you blowing up a dirty bomb and basically turning all of Detroit into robot wasteland. And then even funnier, if you decide to make Connor more aggressive and they actually duke it out at the end of the game, and you have to pick who wins that fight. You either play as Marcus or you play as Connor, and whoever you play as wins. And it's so cool to have if you do this that way, you can have Marcus fight Connor, and he stabs him in the chest, and he goes full Terminator, and he's like, "Isn't the last you've seen of me, Marcus?" And he'll his voice will get slower, and he'll shut down, and then he'll just activate the dirty bomb, and the whole area will be fucked. It's a really cool this is a whole different way we could have gone. It's pretty fun.
That's cool. That's in there.
Or Marcus can be dead entirely at that point, and North can be the leader, and she can fight Connor, or she can. I don't know if she fights Connor, but you can be Connor trying to stop her from setting off the dirty bomb.
Mm-hmm.
They did really good about branching out and going far, far different ways at the end.
Yeah, an even more interesting one is you can redo the savior ending without Marcus, because technically, as long as you've been going deviant Connor, if Marcus dies, you can still go into the plant, bring in the backup, and then go help. What's her name?
North.
You can go help North, and then reboot the ending to where all the androids are still free. You just lost Marcus at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I did my bet. I ended up unlocking the chain link where North is your lover.
I think that's
there was one part they're gonna shoot you. You can kiss her, and I kissed her instead. I'm like, oh, we'll kiss that, and that's when public opinion goes up, because of course it does. I also I really like that actress. So okay, and I have a code to give away. So your code today, your Steam code key is for Sir Whoopass. No idea what this is. Code is 454DQFKA8NPRTDA. That is your Steam code for Sir Whoopass. Whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, I gotta look this up. I've never seen this.
I don't know. I just get Steam codes. So, one thing we hadn't talked about that I want to bring up now, even though we're pretty much almost done, but the stuff with when you go to the sex club. I just like that place. But the thing with the Tracy's, where the reason why she killed the guy is because she thought he was gonna kill her because he beat up the other android, and then she's in love with another android. I was like, I shot the one, unfortunately.
Oh my god damn it.
I did too.
I brought her back to life too. That's how I got my answer. Woo! She not happy when you rip off the head and show her the head. Woo! She was not happy.
God damn, Mike, kind of a psychopath.
I thought it made a better story for Connor to kind of be at odds with his own deviancy. Because at that point in the story, he still wants to be the law enforcement detective. He wants to please CyberLife, but at the same time, he's kind of starting to put the pieces together and see that maybe he's not on the right side of history here.
Oh, but that scene to get the Tracy to talk, because she won't talk to you because you can put her back together, and then you have to rip off the other Tracy's head and pretend it's her, asking her where Jericho is, so she'll tell you. Yeah, I felt a little dark for that one, because then you pull the head away, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
I like that whole chapter too, because depending on what you did in the game, there could be different characters there. Like if Simon died at the TV tower, his body would be there.
That's cool. Oh yeah, because he can die if you let the guy live.
Yeah.
That's why I shot that guy. I was like, I'm like, there is nothing good that's going to come out of this if this guy runs out this door, so we're just going to shoot him. I was hoping when they shot him, they would shoot him in the leg or something. They did not, but, they had no choice. All right, I think we should go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Joe, why don't you lead us in?
Put this on the stack just because I always have a good time with it. I don't think you should probably play it more than once or twice, honestly. And honestly, just kind of get the ending that you want because you want to play it. But these games are usually okay. Like I said, I have actual beef with David Cage, and he can eat my butt. So yeah, but mostly, like I said, a lot of the actors really do save this game too. So I would most likely stack it.
Okay. I'll go next. I'm going to put this on the shelf. I really enjoyed this game way more than any expectation to. I couldn't put it down. I really got into the story. I just had a great time with this game. This would be something I'll be recommending to people. I don't know if I recommend paying $40 for it, like what they want right now, and I was upset that I paid $30, but that's a me problem, not the video game's fault. I like to pay less than $20 for my games. Especially when they come out in 2018, but hey, I guess this wanted to be a Sony, I guess this wanted to be a Nintendo game, so they're like, hey, we're still going to charge full price, right? But yeah, I'm putting the shelf. I loved it. And what about you, Adam?
I'm going to put it in the stack. Not a bad game at all. It's just, I think any game of this genre I would put on the stack because it's great the first couple of times you go through it, and then maybe again in 5 years when I forgot everything that happened, I'll do it again.
No, you're not wrong. This is not a game you can play over and over again. Like,
yeah,
it's a one-time game for me.
It's got replayability to be sure, but in a very long span of time. Like, it's not something I could see myself playing over and over again for months on end.
No, it's not that type of game. And I'm okay with that because I don't play any game over and over again. So, well, I say that as I'm playing Vampire Survivors as we're talking, but for the most part, I do not play any game more than once. Once I beat it, it gets put away.
I mean, those like the old school Final Fantasies, every single one of them is going on the shelf because I play them annually.
I can't.
I mean, I just don't get sick of them. But any choose your own story where there's a limited set of options, and once you know everything that could happen, I give myself some time to kind of forget it, let that get pushed out of my brain, and then maybe in 5-10 years I'll come back to it.
No, I think that's fair. It's kind of what I did for Heavy Rain. I took a couple years off before I got around to replaying it for the show. I get it. And unfortunately, Michael's internet died, so he wasn't able to. That's why he disappeared on this episode and wasn't able to come back.
Oh,
His shitty timing. So, and I guess. Oh yeah, she didn't hear what we're talking about next week. Next week, you can hear me talk about Assassin's Creed Unity. My first new Assassin's Creed for the show. Where this is my first time playing it, so you guys get to hear my first take. Every other Assassin's Creed has been a replay. This is my first new one. So yeah.
I don't think I've played that one. Wait, what time period was that one?
French. It's the first Xbox One, PS4 one during the French Revolution. It was the buggy mess when it came out.
Oh, yeah. The one that you could have 100 billion characters on the screen at once, but none of them are actually fully formed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It runs fine now. I mean, I did have a glitch where I got shot and was standing, jumping around in a wall, kind of, but that's because I got shot while climbing, and he kind of just kind of hung there until they finished murdering him. But other than that, it's been fine.
I need to go through those games again, but I want to go through them in time, not in release order, but like timeline order.
Oh, yeah, that could be an interesting way to play it.
Because I don't give a shit about the modern day stories at all. I never did.
I do.
I just want to see like the history of it.
I love that series completely. So I'm so happy to be finally playing through, finally getting new ones. Like this year, we're doing Unity next week, and then Syndicate later this year.
God, I need to start Syndicate.
Okay. Oh, you coming back for Syndicate then?
Yeah.
Okay. And then eventually Origin will be next year.
Yeah.
Origin was not when that released, that was supposed to be like the earliest timeline, wasn't it?
It's supposed to be, yes. It's
and
not
then they came
anymore.
out with Odyssey, but no, I think Odyssey's before.
Oh
that.
Yeah. I'll get to them someday.
I can't wait to get to Odyssey.
Odyssey was good. I liked it.
It's like a $100 game.
Yeah.
Jesus, really?
It's something massive like that. Valhalla is also crazy massive. That's where I'm going to prove how quickly I can beat a game. So, because I have a monster game in July that my goal is to give myself 2 weeks to beat Red Dead 2. So,
I believe
I'll do it.
You can do it, but you better quarantine. You better make sure nobody has any expectations of you for those 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, my wife would disagree with that. I can do impressive things when I have to, so we'll see. Yeah, that's coming up later this year. That's why I'm trying to get through I'm trying to get through Unity fast so I can get through my other 2 games and get to start on that right away so I get more time.
You should have put this in the middle of all that, like a nice 10-hour game, something you could just blast through in a couple days in between your Assassin's Creed Unities and Red Dead 2s.
Oh, I have two shortest games in between that we'll discuss after we go off the air. But all right, we should go to plugs. So, if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 800 other episodes of this podcast. Everything we do is on Podbean. We do movies, comics, TV shows, video games, obviously. You can find all our content. You can search right in the Podbean bar. You never know. Search anything. We've done lots of random shit. So, definitely go check that out. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. A little dog vote in our Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. So, we're constantly letting people choose what ends up on the show. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for the show, I'll someday get to. If you want to just lurk, we have a Discord. Free. Join our Discord, chat with us, suggest things, and I'm always looking for new voices on the show. So if you're someone like, hey, you listen to this, like, hey, I want to talk with them. Please feel free. All you need is a mic. You don't even really need a microphone. I make it work with AirPods. Just come on the show. I'll find a way. I do all the recording myself, and I'm always happy to have new voices. So definitely take a look at our Discord. And I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, because Helena at Hell Hasfrey. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely go check her out. And check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And check out absolutely the best podcast of Work in Progress. He talks about the MCU movies and MCU adjacent movies. And they're almost actually done with the MCU. Or almost caught up, I should say. So go check out their podcast too. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, sometimes YouTube, audio only, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasts. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.